Okay, okay, great. I think you all can hear me right now. Okay, Sophie is saying that SL voice is a bit touchy at times, needs to be relogged off and or relogged. Yes, that is fine, no issue. So I think my voice right now is loud and clear. I just need a final reassurance from all of you. Okay, okay. Just because I have changed my internet connection and I'm connecting Second Life from a different place, so I just want to make sure that you all can hear me loud and clear. Okay, okay, great. Thank you, Ruby. Renoa has joined. Yeah, welcome everyone. I'm so glad to have you all in this Saturday morning gathering. And today topic that we are going to discuss is how reading can impact our mental health in positive manner. How reading books or the how reading habit can impact our mental health in positive manner, and I'm going to discuss a few research which was conducted, and I will tell you the outcome of those research, and we will also discuss something from Buddhism, like how important it is uh, the reading something in Buddhism. That also we are going to discuss. So, like in most of my session, I try to connect the dot between the teachings of Lord Buddha and the modern neuroscience, the modern psychology, or the positive psychology. So we can start today's session, and today's session is how reading affects our mental health in positive manner. So in ancient times, or in old times, maybe we do not have to go to ancient times, just like 50 years back, 100 years back. We did not have, I mean, most of us did not have any kind of televisions, any kind of other form of entertainment. So that time, the only form of entertainment, the only form of recreations inside a room was, reading. That time we did not have video games, we did not have YouTube, we did not have Second Life, but we all had books, and through books we used to travel, right? I can, still remember a quotation from an author, and she said that reading books is like traveling to different places without moving an inch from your sofa. So, reading has been a very integral part of our daily life, and we had many libraries in different part of the world. Like we can talk about the Library of Alexandria, in Egypt, which was one of the biggest library in the world at that point of time, and it had more than 40,000, 50,000 scrolls. We can talk about Nalanda University. It was in India, and when it is said that when Nalanda was burned, the books, I mean, they burned the books, and people could see flames for the books for 1 week. So it took 1 week to burn all the books in Nalanda University, and in different parts of the world we had libraries, and people used to go to the library. It was a recreational habit. At the same time, it was a way to gain more wisdom, more knowledge, and going into a subject, learning in a more deeper manner. But today we will discuss that how the habit of reading can actually impact our brain and impact our mental health. So research says that the reading habits, it decreases our stress, and it also decreases our anxiety. And there was a research which was conducted at Sussex University in 2009, and They found through that research that only 6 minutes of reading can decrease our stress level by up to 68%. So, not for everyone, but they have found that the research was conducted, to people, to students, and they found that just 6 minutes of reading can decrease our stress level up to 68%. But it may not be for all the people who were involved in the research. It was also found that the reading a book in terms of stress reduction or in terms of reducing anxiety was way better than listening to a music or having a cup of coffee or a cup of tea. They have also found that Siren said that I read during lunch every day. That's great, that's great. Wonderful, wonderful habit. And for some people in that particular research, they found that reading can even lower our heart rate, and it can reduce the muscle tension. So you can go to Google and you can find out this research report. You can just type out Sussex University research on benefits of reading on mental health, and you can put the year 2009 and you can find the entire details of that report. There was one person who was involved in this research, and his name was Dr. David Lewis, and he was a neuropsychiatrist. And he said that when we are reading something in a very active manner, then what happens? We are also actively engaging our imaginations. And when we are using our imaginations, it is inducing and alters state of consciousness. This particular habit of reading activates or induce an altered state of consciousness. And because of this this particular thing allows brain to disengage from any stressful thinking or for any anxious thinking, and therefore it mitigates the overall stress factor in our mind. Okay? So this particular research shows that reading can reduce our stress and anxiety in a proven manner. And I think when we did not have all this psychiatry or psychology or other kind of treatment 100 years back, 200 years back, people used to read as a therapy. I will come to that. In modern days also there is a therapy called bibliotherapy, but I will tell you later. But when we did not have medicines, when we did not have all this therapy like psychotherapy, cognitive behavioral therapy, or exposure response prevention therapy, ACT therapy, that time people used to do reading to distract their mind, to go into the altered state of consciousness, and that actually helps them to reduce their stress and anxiety. Like I said, reading it acts as a distraction for various daily life stressors. We have many different stress factors every day. We have to pay bills, we have to catch a train to go to our office, we have to submit the assignment, we have to meet the deadlines, we have to meet the targets. So many stressors we have in everyday life. But when we read, it distracts our mind for some time, maybe for half an hour, for 1 hour, and it actually leads to a state of relaxation. And the research also found that if we establish a consistent daily reading routine, like every day from this time to that time, I will read a particular book. Uh, so if we establish a consistent daily reading routine and designate a quiet, distraction-free environment, Like, I have a weird habit. Whenever I read any book, I, play some music. I play some classical music, maybe Western classical or maybe Indian classical, maybe some ragas from Indian classicals, maybe, some Beethoven, some Mozart, some Bach from Western classicals, and it gives me a kind of calming effect to my mind. So you can also have this kind of ritual, like playing a particular music that I do. So they have found that if we can, establish a consistent daily routine with a distraction-free environment, we can get more benefits of reading. So it can, further enhance or increase the benefits. We can also develop, mindful reading habits, right? So when we are reading something in mindful manner, we are not in a hurry to finish the book. We are not in a hurry to finish the chapter. We are not critically thinking about the character or about a particular topic. We are not overthinking. And we are having kind of witness mindset or witness mentality. So yes, there is a character, there is a war happening in the book, maybe some sad incident, maybe some joyous incident, maybe some, melodrama, but we are not being attached. So we are being mindful of everything, but we are not engaging our emotions. So this is also very beneficial. Mindful reading, can give us the benefits of mindfulness. Like, the best thing about mindfulness is we can attach it with anyone. Like, we can attach it with any activities, like walking, like breathing mindfulness, like body scanning mindfulness, washing the dishes. Like, I am the um, official washer in my house. So I practice mindfulness when I, wash my dishes. Okay. The next thing, which is very important when we talk about benefits of reading, that reading can improve our mood. And there was a research as well for this. And in this research, they found that the act of reading, any positive news story, not negative. If we go through the newspaper every day or some news apps or some blogs, news blogs, most of the news are distressing, not very positive in manner, not very, motivating in manner. But if we can find out some positive news stories, it can stimulate the release of dopamine inside our brain. Dopamine is a neurotransmitter which is responsible for, the feeling of pleasure, the feeling of reward, and it can lead to the improvement of our mood and also for motivation. But remember, the research was conducted where people were given to read something positive, some positive news, not something negative about war, about famine, about any bad incident, any accident, not any positive news. And they found that people mood were better, and they felt more motivation for their day-to-day work when they kept on reading about positive news every day. And it can also reduce, the level of cortisols. We all know the cortisol is a stress hormone. Okay. And it can calm the mind. So when we have the release of dopamine and when we have, reduced level of cortisol, it calm our mind. So that is the another benefits of reading. There was another research and which found that reading can promote empathy, better empathy for other human being, for not only human being, for different species. And that is what exactly, said in Buddhism. uh, it's not only about human that we should practice kindness. We should practice kindness for all the species in the world. even an insect, even a mosquito, even a blade of grass, even a cat, a dog. Okay, so they found that yeah, exactly. So Buddhism promote this idea that the kindness should not only be shown to human being but all the creatures in the world. Uh, in that research, they have found that when we are reading any kind of fiction, we know that there are two different kind of genre. I mean, fiction books and non-fiction books. So this research was conducted for with fiction books, and they have found that when one is reading fiction, and they observe the increased activity in some brain region, specifically a brain region called dorsomedial prefrontal cortex. It is one of the part of prefrontal cortex or PFC, and the name of this region is dorsomedial prefrontal cortex. And what it does, it helps in cultivating empathy. It helps this particular region, the activity in that specific region. It helps us cultivating empathy and experience the world through diverse perspectives. So when we are reading good fictional books, it could be any book, maybe The Kite Runner by Khaled Hosseini, maybe Shantaram by David Gregory Robert, maybe The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho, maybe some many different kind of fiction books, maybe The 40 Rules of Love by Elif Shafak. So when we are reading any kind of maybe some classical books of uh, you know Leo Tolstoy, or maybe uh, what was the name of that author? I cannot remember. I read that one story. Charles Dickens. Yes, so some classical books. So whenever we are reading any kind of fiction, we are looking, or we are, looking through the lens of those characters. I mean, we are looking through the perspective of those characters, and we are seeing other people struggle, their way of living, their joy, their sadness, their hopes, their dreams, their suffering. And we can feel that the suffering, it's not only individual, but it's a universal story. And when we find that it's not only me, another person is also suffering, another person is also suffering, then we can cultivate better empathy, because we find that we all are suffering, and we need to help each other to come out of this suffering, to manage the suffering, and to have a better well-being. And that is what's said in Buddhism as well, that we all are suffering, right? um, like there is a saying, dukkham dukkham sarvam dukkham. There is a sadness, there is a sadness pervading the entire world. There is a sadness. So when we read any kind of fiction books, and I have I used to read a lot of books, but now due to real life work and all the commitments, I don't get much time about reading. But still, every day I try to read for half an hour, 1 hour. I used to speak to people who are voracious readers, and I have found that there are many people, they become very emotional when they read a book. Like many people cry while reading the book because they could have more empathy for the character. They could have more feelings for the character, right? So reading fiction can increase the sense of empathy and also the social understanding. Like I told you, just like when we travel to different places, we get to see that it's not all only the hunky dory, or it's not all good. We see the struggle of other people, we see the sadness, we see the bad events which are happening in their life, and then we understand their life, and we understand this. I mean, we can empathize with them in a much better manner. Same thing happens when we are reading any fiction book. Okay, now there is one more benefit, and that is reading and sleep. It has been found that incorporating reading and it's physical book, it's not gadgets or it's not Kindle, because if we are reading something from Kindle, we have a device called Kindle, or if we are reading from iPad or mobile phone or any screen, that is not actually helpful. Why? Because these electronical devices, they emits a blue light or white light, and our brain thinks that, oh, it's a daytime, it's not night, and let's not sleep. Brain becomes active, and the most important part, this blue light or this white light, it can interfere with the production of melatonin inside our brain. And melatonin is a very important hormone that regulate our sleep. So incorporating reading but with a physical book, a paperback or a hardcover book, into a nightly routine can improve our sleep quality. And I have seen that some people have a habit of reading a book at night till they fall asleep. And I have seen that sometimes they just put the book on their chest and they fall asleep. Okay. And there was a 2020 study, and this research was conducted with college students, and they have found that any kind of recreational reading before the bedtime was associated with reduced stress levels. And when we have less stress level or we have reduced stress levels, indirectly it contribute to better sleep, because most of the time we are not having a good sleep because something is going inside our mind. We are overthinking, maybe not consciously, unconsciously, or maybe something is bothering us, some kind of stress or some kind of anxiety is not letting us sleep properly. But this 2020 study, which was conducted with some students, some college students, they have found that those who have this habit of reading a physical book in their bedtime, they have reduced stress levels and improved, or they have better sleep quality. Also, reading can help with loneliness, and it can foster the social connection. Like, it has been found that in time of isolation, a book can be very helpful. You can read a book here and you go to that world. It's just like a second life, you close your eyes and you can see the world and the characters and everything. You must have, some of you may have seen the movie The Book Thief, right? Some of you may have seen the movie The Life of Pi. Okay, some of you may have seen the movie, uh, maybe you know any movie which is based on a book. And when you are reading the book, you are imagining the movie inside your mind with your kind of character, with your kind of backdrop, with your kind of theme. And that is why reading a book, the experience of reading a book can never match watching a movie. You will always feel good reading a book rather than seeing the movie, because in that movie, the director is showing you the character and it may not match with your kind of character. So when we are reading a book, it gives us the freedom to imagine that story inside our mind in our own way. And that is itself a great pleasure. And that is the reason sometimes we say, yeah, no, no, the movie was not as good as the book. The movie was fine, but the book was better. That is the reason. Right. So it can help with, any kind of isolations or loneliness. Yeah, book is a good friend. I would say the best friend. And even it can foster social connection, like you can participate into some book club. You can, yes, the brain is triggered differently with a book, true. It has been found that when we read a book, a different part of the brain gets lighten up, gets activated, and those different parts are responsible for different mental stimulation, some different feelings. Uh, Also, it has found that when we read fiction, any good fiction, good fictional stories, it can enhance our social cognitions. I told you, the social cognitions is basically our social understanding, that the ability to understand and connecting with other people, seeing other people's struggles, their suffering, their sadness, and increase, better empathy for them. So these are the different benefits of reading books. And recently there is this reading books is also integrated into a therapy. It's called bibliotherapy. You can go to Google and you can search this term bibliotherapy, and you can find out that in this, but and this is still is a very new thing. It's not very prominent, but some psychologists, some counselor, they give you some carefully selected reading materials for some mental health treatment, but along with traditional treatment like medicines or like counseling. So you can check this term on Google, and bibliotherapy. It's a very new thing in psychology. I mean, not very new. It has been going on for few years, but yes, for some mental health issues, they are giving some curated reading materials, or maybe they are suggesting a particular book, and that they check that what your understanding about the book, what you have learned from the book, whether the book has helped you relieving some of the symptoms or not, whether the book has helped you having more understanding about the society, about a particular skill set. So yes, this is a thing which is being integrated into therapy as well. And if we talk about Buddhism, or if you talk about the Buddhist practices, there also teaching is a reading is a very important part. Like in Buddhism, we read many sutras, which is written in Pali script or in Sanskrit, and we read all the sutras to learn about the core principles and the philosophy of Buddhism, like for dharma and the teachings of Buddha. And they provide the foundational view of the Buddhism or the Buddhist path. Also, every monastery, I have visited many monasteries. A couple of months back, I went to a monastery, and I saw that the monks are reading books. I mean the Buddhist text, and they have this consistent reading of Buddhist scriptures or Buddhist texts to continuously illuminate their mind, and gradually reducing any kind of ignorance. And also they read all this Buddhist script to have a deeper comprehension and a deeper understanding and the meaning within the text or the language. Also in Buddhism, people read, or the monks read, to have some concentration. The act of mindful reading or reciting some sutras is used for developing concentration power. And we all know the monks have great concentration, and that is why even in some management lectures or management speeches, they said we must develop the monk mind, because the monk mind is synonymous with a focused mind, a concentrated mind, something which is not distracted, something which is very focused, like a leisure sharp focus. So in Buddhism also, the reading is very important. Not to only understand dharma, not to only understand the teachings of Buddha, but at the same time, it is being used as a mental exercise, the exercise for mind. Just like we have exercise for body, we are going to gym, we are doing cycling, we are doing some tai chi or yoga. So the in Buddhist, in the teachings of Buddha, the reading the different Buddhist texts is like a mental exercise. So reading, reflecting, and then integrating the teachings, it leads to the personal transformation and wisdom. But in Buddhism, reading is not substitute for practice. Reading is very important, but along with the reading, we need to learn other things. Like we need to practice. Practice is very important. So it is most reading is most effective when balanced with meditation, mindfulness, and practical application of Buddhist principles in our daily life. So today we learned about that how reading can impact our mental health in positive manner, and how even reading is very important part in Buddhism as well. And if you have gone to any monastery, you will see that they have a specific period, the prayer period, where they keep on reading the different sutras or texts from the scrolls, some Buddhist scrolls, and then they have some sounds, they have some, the gong, and they have some beats, and it's a wonderful. I recorded 2 minutes, 3 minutes of that particular, uh, practice. Maybe I can share it on the Discord, and you all can see. It's a monastery in southern part of India, and even Dalai Lama also used to come. Now Dalai Lama is little older, but it is one of the Tibetan settlement which was there. So after the Tibetans people, along with the Dalai Lama, fled from China and they came to India, some of the people, some of the monks used to stay there, and now it is a monastery. It's known as the Golden Temple or Namdroling Monastery. And I have seen that how focused the monks are, how focused, the concentrated their minds are. So that was all about today's session. Now I can take a few minutes to answer your questions, or if you would like to share your opinion or share your reflection, because here we all learn from each other. You can speak, through your voice, or you can type in the local chat, whatever feel feasible for you. And I hope my voice was clear. I'm still worrying if you all could hear me properly. Okay, okay, great. So, any question? Okay, okay, great. Okay. Thank you so much for your acknowledgement. Okay, Neo says that I learned something. Yeah, physical book is important because nowadays we are using a lot of gadgets. And like Sophie said, I think Sophie said the smell of the book, the holding it in our hand, it feels like, kind of sacred thing. Okay, so any question, whatever things we have discussed, or if you want to share your experience with reading, that is also great. Saren said that I have viewed reading like a going on vacation. It takes me out of the present to another place. Yeah, exactly, exactly, right. It's like a teleportation to a different world, just like we do in Second Life. Much cheaper than, yeah, exactly, much cheaper. Okay, great, great. Yeah, exactly. Like Ruby said that sometimes we do not want the book to read and we feel very upset when the book is finished because we become very emotional with the characters. I'm so glad you all are sharing your love for book, because I'm a book lover, and I feel great when I connect to people with similar mindset. I try to buy one physical book every month. Sometimes I buy two physical book every month. Maybe I don't read them, but still I buy. Maybe in future when I have time I will read. That is great. That it is my dream to have a library in my home one day. One day, let's see. Okay, that's great. That's great. Like in my case, I mean, I used to see my mom reading all the time, and she was the one who taught me some different about epics, like in Indian epics like Ramayana, Mahabharata, some different mythological stories, and I saw her reading all the time. So I also got the habit from her. Like nobody asked me that now you read the book, now you read the book. I just saw my mother reading the book all the time, and this is how I, you know, got into reading books. And my mom was a teacher. She used to teach Bengali, and that is why she most of the time she was associated with book. Ah, okay, Greek mythology. Okay, yeah, Greek mythology is also very interesting. Yes, Aaron, very true. The children watch the adults they're around. Like they follow what adults do. Okay, okay. So I just wanted to say thank you everyone for coming here and spending the Saturday morning with me. And we got to learn from each other about the topic. And next Saturday at the same time, we will again come and we will learn something new. And I just wish everyone that have a wonderful week, and you all can start reading just for 10 minutes. Maybe you all can start with 10 minutes reading. Yeah, yeah, definitely. I have many book recommendation, but let me think. Let me just give me 1 second. I think you can read this book. Just let me Google the name and the name of the author. I just give me 1 second. Yes, you can read this book. The name of the book is okay. I'm just pasting it here. Okay, I'm just pasting it here. It's a kind of non-fiction, but you might like it. So this is the name of the book, and this is the name of the author, Ben Rollins. Okay, this is the name of the author. His name is Ben Rollins. So that is one book recommendation from me. Yeah. Yeah, Jonathan Livingston Stigall. Yeah, I read this book when I was doing my MBA. In the college, the one professor told about this book. I think the writer name is Richard something, right? Richard Bach or something like that. The Jonathan Livingston Seagull. I think the author was something Richard Bach. And they also showed us, the movie about this movie. I mean, the movie about this book, Jonathan Livingston Seagull. Yeah, Richard Bach. Exactly, exactly. Ah, my mind is working. Okay. Long time back, I read that book. I think probably 2008. Yes, 2008. So 2008. Yeah. So almost 17 years back. Okay. Okay. So we had a wonderful discussion about books, and we shared our book list with each other. And Okay, Going Home by Thich Nhat Hanh. I love the book of Thich Nhat Hanh. I have read two books. Okay. Yes, reading is something which we cannot finish. So we all book lovers keep on buying books without reading, and that is absolutely fine. I mean, we can't have uh, less book in our house. But I'm so glad that you all are into reading, and maybe next time again we can share some of our book recommendations. And thank you so much for coming. And next Saturday we shall again meet at the same time, 10 a.m. SLT, and we will learn something new. Have a great time, everyone, and namaste. Bye for now.